He wrote an article, maybe some of you read it, My Nanny, My Abuser. An extremely difficult story to read. At the time, he wrote it anonymously. But tonight, he's going to stand up and reclaim his voice.
Abuse. The mention of the word makes people shudder. Sexual abuse is something that is even harder for people to digest. I feel that it's important for me to share my story and to empower people to seek help, and for parents and children to educate themselves on abuse and to be able to prevent these situations from occurring. I'm 18 years old. I'm the oldest of 6 children. I come from a very happy home, but nonetheless, I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse. As a survivor, I have come a long way in a painful journey, from being a victim to becoming a survivor, an experience I wish and I hope that no one should ever have to go through. We all have childhood memories, which we can look back and reminisce. I would like to share with you a personal childhood experience of mine. When I was a child, there was a babysitter of mine who seemed very kind and gentle. Everyone who met her thought she was the best babysitter out there. The way she would treat us seemingly was amazing. But little did they know that this woman was evil when she was alone with us. She was far from the seemingly kind and gentle woman that she portrayed herself on the outside. It started when she became frustrated. She would let it out on me. She would hit me forcibly. I cried loudly. But me being the age that I was, there was very little that I was able to do. Then one day, from just abuse, it turned to sexual abuse. The things that she did are very painful to describe. The way she groomed me, the way she had it all covered up, that my parents, who are extremely vigilant people, did not even think that something like this was happening under their noses. The pain and the fear that I felt is indescribable. Day in and day out, there was nothing I was able to do. Every time I tried to say something, the words just did not come out. They could not come out, hard as I tried. I grew up having this secret in me, not knowing how to deal with it, until a small opportunity came up for me to mention it to my parents. Until about 2 weeks before my bar mitzvah, all the preparations were going on and I wasn't really part of them. But about 2 weeks before my bar mitzvah, my parents decided we were going to discuss the guest list of the people we were going to invite. When I heard her name mentioned, I froze, and I burst out crying. My parents were shocked, and they had no idea why the mention of her name had brought about such an emotional reaction from me. They had no idea, and I never really had been able to let on that anything was amiss. Years of built-up emotion inside me came forward. My parents listened to me carefully, but were shocked that something like this could have taken place right under their noses. And at the time, awareness of abuse, and sexual abuse more in particular, was not that well known. And therefore, the resources besides for therapy were very limited. Memories like these are very hard to forget, and they start affecting day-to-day life, as they affected me. Today, there are a lot of good resources and expert care that can help you like they helped me. Through the JCW, I was introduced to Dr. Norman Goldwasser, affectionately known as Dr. G. Something which I can't thank you, Mayor and Ellie, for enough. I would like to take this opportunity again to make the message clear to all parents. We have to get educated, and we have to be extremely vigilant. These things happen when we least expect them to. Education is the most important tool that we have in protecting our children and protecting anybody from any sort of abuser. If you feel something's amiss, ask your child. Have a good rapport with them. They should feel comfortable coming to you and telling you anything that is on their mind and that's bothering them. For it's relationships like these that can and do prevent any sort of abuse. For when an abuser knows that the parents will find out, he won't even bother and he won't even try to groom your child because he knows he's going to be exposed. And for those fellow survivors who need help, reach out. It's worth it. JCW has been a good resource for me and can be a good resource for you too. Together, we can work to prevent and eradicate this magefa in our communities.